I just want to preface this video by saying the method that you're about to see to hopefully repair a P0008 and P0017 code did not work. This video is me showing you how to replace a camshaft position sensor on bank 1, which is the passenger side, in an attempt to clear out those two engine codes. And I presume you've probably already done some research if you have these codes. And one of the root causes of these codes is a timing chain issue. The car that I have has about 88,000 miles, and I really did not believe that the timing chain was the problem. However, after a test drive of about 5 to 6 miles, the check engine light came back on. So I just wanted to caveat this video by saying that the repair that I attempted did not work in my particular case. Perhaps it will for you. I really hope it does. But nonetheless, I still wanted to post this video because I think there is still some valuable information, and I show you how to replace or how to locate and replace the camshaft position sensor on these 3.6 liter motors. So again, thanks for stopping by, thanks for checking out the video, and I hope it's helpful to you. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the garage. I hope y'all are having a great day. You probably clicked on this video because you're having the P0008 or P0017 trouble codes showing up on your engine. What I've got today is a 2007 Cadillac CTS with a 3.6 liter motor in it. These 3.6 liter motors, I think, have an inherent design flaw in them, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a few minutes. But what I'm going to try to do today is, one, troubleshoot the P008 code and the P0017 code, and then we're going to replace the camshaft position sensor and see if that fixes our problem. Now, again, you've probably done some research on these trouble codes. There are a lot of videos and a lot of opinions on these trouble codes, and a lot of the comments and opinions and videos talk about the timing chain on these motors, particularly the timing chains stretching, skipping teeth on the sprockets, and then throwing your car out of timing. This car has about 88,000 miles on it, and it was driven by my grandmother, so I don't believe that this engine was driven hard, and I really have a hard time believing that the timing itself or the timing chain has skipped to the point where it's throwing these trouble codes. So I'm actually going to plug in my little OBD2 diagnostic scan tool, and we're going to read these trouble codes. I'll show you the trouble codes that are coming off of the motor or the ECU, and then we'll dive into the trouble codes themselves, talk a little bit about that, and then I'll show you guys how we're going to replace this camshaft position sensor. All right, so I've got my OBD2 scan tool plugged in right here. Let's just go back here and take a look at the fault codes that we're reading on this car. All right, so there you go. We're showing the P0008 and the P0017 trouble codes. So if we just click on one of these, it'll just take us to some website here. Take a look here. P0017. This is the crankshaft / camshaft position bank 1 sensor B correlation. Okay, and then P008, and both of these codes are related. I don't know if one code throws the other, but they are related. So P0008 is engine position system, bank 1 engine performance. Again, both of these are related. They're both related to timing, and the research that I've done, again, a lot of the folks on YouTube and various forums indicate that it's the timing chain. But I'm going to try and keep things simple and start out with what I think are the simplest things first. Alright, so just another quick look here. P0017 Crankshaft / Camshaft Position Bank 1 Sensor B. Probable cause wiring, CKP sensor, CMP sensor, or mechanical fault. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the sensors first. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so back here in the engine compartment, the 3.6 liter motors have 4 of these camshaft position sensors, one for exhaust and one for intake on both of the cylinder heads. Now the 2 sensors for each head, on the passenger side, the 2 are located behind the ECU here, and then on the driver's side, they're located behind the power steering pump reservoir. Now the engine codes, the P0017 and 08, well, actually both of those codes indicate a problem with bank 1, which is where, and you can find bank 1, or you can identify bank 1 as being the cylinder head where cylinder number 1 is. So on this car, cylinder number 1 is on the passenger side, and then the code P0017 also indicates that it is sensor B, which is going to be the exhaust side sensor. So let me get this ECU mounting block and everything taken off here, and then we'll take a closer look at those sensors. Alright folks, so let me show you how to access these sensors. Again, the sensors are all back behind this bracket that holds these 2 electrical connectors on. This bracket is held on by 3 bolts, and I've already taken them out, but you've got 2 longer 13mm bolts and then 1 shorter 10mm bolt. The let's see if you can see this here. The 2 larger 13mm bolts, you've got one down here on the lower right side. There's another one underneath lower right, and then lower left underneath here. And then the small 10mm bolt is right in here. That one was a little tricky to get to. I had to loosen it with a box end wrench and then just use my fingers to take that bolt out the rest of the way. Just a quick tip here, be careful when you're taking that bolt out, because it could drop down into Never Never Land, never to be seen again. Now, to pull this bracket off all the way, or to get it out of the way such that you can access those sensors, what I also took off was this 10mm bolt holding these 2 grounding straps, and then this other 10mm bolt holding this wire connector here. And so just pull those guys up out of the way, and then I did not even bother to unhook these 2 big connectors. So then just pull this guy a little bit up out of the way, be gentle with it, and then that'll give you plenty of room to access these sensors. So the 2 sensors, there's one here. This is the exhaust sensor, which is sensor B, and then you also have one on the intake side, which is going to be sensor A. And then these 2 guys here, these are the variable valve timing solenoids. And while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 out and take a look at the condition of the screens on them. If those things are gummed up, you know, that could impact the timing. We're going to pull those 2 out. It's just, you know, 1 10mm bolt for each of those. So we'll get those taken out and take a look at the condition of each one of those. All right, so before I get those sensors out, I just wanted to mention to you guys that in doing my research, as I mentioned earlier, there were a lot of videos and a lot of opinions about the timing chain being the cause of those codes, the P0008 and 0017. But in doing my research, I came across 2, I think, pretty valuable YouTube videos, and I'll have links to those videos down in the description below. But one was by a gentleman named Charles Cox, and then the other was a video on a channel called ProFlowFab. And again, I'll have links to both of these videos down in the description below. Now, both of these videos opined that the cause of those sensors was not necessarily the timing chain. The gentleman, Charles Cox, if you go watch his video, you'll see he pulled the timing cover off. The timing chain and timing marks were all lined up. And then ProFlowFab's video actually had a donor motor pulled out, or they had it sitting on a crate, so he was able to pull the valve covers off and everything and take a look inside. And what he observed was that the driver's side valve train, the upper valve train, was much cleaner than the passenger side. And his theory was that the driver's side valve area was vented much better than the passenger side. So I'm not going to get in too much more detail about that. Again, I'll leave links to their videos down in the description below. Please go check them out. I think they're really good videos. They really explain the design flaw, or the poor design of the whole breathing system of both valves and both valve heads, or cylinder heads. So again, go check their videos out. But I'm going to go ahead and get these sensors pulled out and we'll take a look at those. Alright, so I got the first sensor out, and let's take a closer look at it here. So the sensor initially doesn't look too awful bad, but on this one side here, there is some gunk and sludge built up on that side of the sensor. So just for comparison, let's take a look at the new one. Now the sensor that I'm using is a Duralast sensor. This is a camshaft sensor, number SU9680. So these two sensors appear to be the same, which is what we want. Okay, and then, so just taking a look at these two guys here. So this old sensor here has quite a bit of sludge built up. Alright, so to reinstall these sensors, all you do, put the sensor portion back into the front of the cylinder head. Plug up your electrical connection, and then put the bolt back in and tighten it up. Let's go ahead and take out this variable valve timing solenoid and see what this guy looks like. So you get a little bit of oil coming out of there. Alright, so this is really not as bad as I was expecting. So there is there's a screen on this solenoid. It just collects any gunk that is sloshed around inside the engine, but this thing is pretty clean. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one back in. Now the other one, we'll take that one out as well and see how clean or dirty that one is too. So I'm just getting everything buttoned back up here, and all I have left to do is reattach this bracket. And then attach these two grounding straps. Again, both with 10mm bolts. There you go. No fault codes stored in this computer. Now, the fault code, just I guess as a point of disclosure here, the fault codes may have been cleared out when I unhooked the battery and then hooked it back up. So I'm going to take the car out for a test drive and then see if the fault codes come back. Alright folks, so I just got back from about a 5-mile test drive and the check engine light is still off. So just to recap, before you take your car in, if it's throwing these codes, the 00817, do the simple things first. Check these sensors, make sure you've got enough oil in your car, Make sure the wiring connections are plugged in all the way and make sure nothing is funky going on with those connections first. If you've exhausted those options, then I'd suggest taking it in for a timing chain replacement. That repair could be costly. I don't know how much they cost to replace timing chains, maybe $1,500, $2,000, that's just a wild guess. But for $50 or the cost of a sensor, you know, I think it's worth exploring that option first. So folks, I hope this video has been helpful to you. I hope it has saved you some frustration and ultimately some money on your car repairs. If it has, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you hadn't done so already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a great day and we'll see you on the next one.